All right, we are live. Producer show, November 15th. I am not doing the, just going right into a conversation thing. I got 2 tweets, basically, and that now mind fucked me. Now I have to intro the show. First of all, before we get into topics of the day, have you listened to the new Linkin Park album or no?
I have not, no.
Okay. So I listened to it this morning. I wasn't super focused on it. I told you when I saw the announcement that they're going to be playing TD Garden that we have to go to that show. I've done a reversal, and I'm sure I'll reverse back. My reversal is just now I'm angry. I'm now angry that is Chester is not the lead singer. We don't need to talk about this ad nauseum, but do you get my where my brain is going with this at the moment?
I do get it. It would be a completely different show. I will say, when Tom left Blink-182 and were replaced by Matt, I was kind of upset too. But give it time. I still think they'll put on a good show. I'll definitely go with you to that. I will say, I'm going to have some thoughts. If at any point you go to the bathroom or grab a beer
if
or
I'm going to think, that's a good callback.
I'm going to look around and say, did you see any lesbians kiss? And you just had that urge.
Listen, that was high school. It was the first time I ever seen that up close and personal. So I think most people can understand where I was coming from in that spot. That was the Worcester DCU Center. So that's good history right there. All right, let's get into topics. Let's start topic number 1. First and foremost, Mick is tweeting out that we didn't tweet anything, notify anybody about the Barstool rundown. First of all, Mick is on absolute warpath against you again. So now he's, I'm not going to say you called it, but you kind of called it. He's back to going after you. But let's first address the tweet right now about the rundown. I'll go from my viewpoint. We didn't know it was happening. That's first and foremost. When I would last night on my feed, I want to say it was 6:45. I saw the Barstool Sports. I saw Barstool Sports announce the rundown was on. I saw Kirk tagged in it. I retweeted it, knowing at that point then that he was on. Probably on my end, I probably could have done the whole "Hey guys, just so you know, Kirk is on." After I was alerted, but we didn't have any notice of it or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just didn't see it. I mean, it's an excuse, but it's the truth. It probably should have been on us to reach out. We didn't see any tweets from the Barstool rundown, or I didn't see the tweet from the main account. So yeah, no, that's on me. Good on Mick for calling me out. That seems to
be calling it out. What's your overall take on the Mick sentiment towards you after? Was that Monday's show? That was Monday's show.
Monday,
right? After
yes.
Monday's show. Yeah. What's your overall take on Mick's sentiment on the Mick sentiment online?
It's the same thing that I said on the show. I mean, I knew he was going to end up doing this, whether or not I quote unquote forgave him or anything like that. I knew eventually he would turn and he would just go on a warpath, which is fine. Go for it. One of my biggest criticisms is that if you're going to do this in Twitter and you come in studio, say it to my face, bring it up. Just don't be this meek Mick.
And I do think I saw a reply to that point that he is not interested in doing the podcast, right? Did you see that as well? I think I saw him reply to somebody saying what is the podcast going to accomplish? I hate him. Whatever. That's that was his viewpoint. There's no need to do that podcast at this point anymore.
Yeah, no need to, because I did say that I would go on his show if it was live, and there was one other stipulation for it. It was live and in person.
Yes.
But he says he has no interest in that, which is fine. He seemed to get upset that the show account yesterday tweeted out, will there be a Beyond Average podcast? He said there's going to be a Beyond Average podcast on Thursday.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know. I think he's, sure, go for it. I think this is the Mick that we know, is he's just going to do this.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to lie about more things, which is the more upsetting part.
I don't want to get anyone fired up. I don't know. We'll if the podcast happens, I just wanted to get the overall sentiment. You don't have to do we don't have to go there. It's Friday. No need. We'll do the podcast. I'm sure Mick will come around and have a conversation with you, be it on KMS or be it on Beyond Average somehow.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't, because he never has before. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results.
I'm trying to be the middleman, Justin. I was trying to end it because it's not fair to Mick to then let you rant like this. So we'll wait for the podcast. All right. We'll wait for the podcast.
Okay, sure.
I agree with the chat. I have bad lighting. Do I think it affects my rating? No, not really, but I understand where you're coming from for sure. All right. Let's stay on the rundown for 1 second. Was just after watching it, once you saw that it happened, it felt weird seeing Clemmer host it. It's I'm thinking of, I'm not even talking about, I know people are making fun of his ad reads or whatever, but we're talking about an individual who went from Monkey Boy to Quantum Week to KMS third chair for a certain, it's I know he's been working at Barstool for a long time, but see him host the Barstool Rundown, and I think I heard I believe he said it was his 4th time hosting it, which isn't shocking. It shouldn't be shocking at this point, but it was shocking to see for some reason. It's I don't know. But what was your take on just like Clemmer hosting the Rundown?
I love when like it's a Clemmer production, and I got it that it was a Clemmer production yesterday. Like I love the rat races. I love it when it comes from like Clemmer's mind. And I know like the Rundown technically is his thing, but when you watch that, he's reading the ad read. He's like he's leading the conversation. I love it. I love Clemmer.
It's hosting Clemmer. He probably needs. It's like I don't feel comfortable doing this with you and like trying to transition through topics and stuff. It's just not me. He probably needs more reps for that to be him too, because he like kind of comes off like me, like I do, like manic in these spots a little bit or whatever. I'm sure he'll get used to it if he keeps doing it. But it was weird. They talked about like the whole Onion and Alex Jones thing, and I don't even know how really to address that one. I don't think they had too many opinions.
Bad day for Mutt.
Bad day for Mutt. That's true. What was the other topics that they talked about? Oh, they talked about the Tampa Bay Rays who have to play in like another. Yeah. So it was kind of like from a topic perspective. They did go into the Aaron Hernandez thing. I posted that awful announcing line this morning or whatever. That like what was the quote? Like Linda Pizzuti was not interested in talking. Whatever her quote was. I don't know. Let's go on. They also addressed John Gruden. I'm going to say this. I actually tuned in a little bit to the stream last night with John Gruden. That was pretty fucking fun. He was a pretty funny guy. I don't know if you saw any of the clips that came out of it.
I saw.
He was pretty funny.
Like, he seems like one of those guys where like he's the same person no matter what he does. Like he seems very genuine, and like that would be great for Barstool if he can somehow. I don't know if it would be a podcast or what it is, but Dave seems very excited that he's completely bought in. They're looking for a dozen team. I will say it would be very interesting to see John Gruden on a dozen team with Kirk.
Which Kirk tweeted yesterday that discussions are underway, it appears.
Yes.
Yeah. No, or discussions have been had. I don't know if they're continuing or whatnot, but that would be very interesting. Kirk also said, obviously it came up in the rundown, and then it came up on a name first, which was that John Gruden is a full-time Barstool employee. I also wonder what that entails, because I think they kept talking about he has a facility in Tampa, I believe. So is he going to be like a full-time remote? Like, is he going to pipe in to like other shows? I wonder what all the commitments are. And it just kind of seems like Dave's probably just comfortable kind of like figuring that out as it goes, probably, I assume.
Yeah. I know he did his like Gruden. He's been doing like videos on TikTok and things like that.
Feeling nicey. Feeling nicey.
Yeah, feeling nice.
Yeah. Did we ever? I know we had it once. Did we ever end up playing those on the show? I can't remember.
I think we played it quick.
I'm feeling nicey or whatever.
I think Kirk was so blown away. So this guy's I can't.
Yeah.
We gotta wait.
We gotta hire him. Yeah, we gotta get him here to Barstool, and then
Kirk started it.
Yes. So I don't know. I watched some of it. That's actually a tough spot too. So for him to have like so many moments, like just watching a game and kind of not knowing what to do on those streams, I don't know. I thought he fit, and I'm a nobody, but I thought he fit. Let's go on to the next one. I did see this, and I wanted to get your take on it. Menners, who, as everybody knows by now, is in charge of the third chair booking. So I've gotten a bunch of DMs from people. You probably have too. I think I've seen a couple on the show account. We just push everybody over. If you know somebody or want to be a third chair guest, that's a Menners. It's Menners' role. Like, we have to respect that that's the position that's happening right now. That's what's going on. And so reach out to Menners. That's first and foremost. But he put his third chair bookings and he ranked them thus far. So I just wanted to get your take.
Okay.
October 30th, he gave Mutt a C+. Mutt's been in like for this ranking. That was, I guess, 2 appearances ago. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but I think
Mutt's pretty consistent on the show.
Yeah, but also I don't think you should rank Menners by how they did. I think you should rank Menners by like the.
Well, this is Menners ranking the people, though.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So this
we
is
can then go back and rank Menners after the.
Oh, fact. I thought he was ranking himself.
I graded my third chair bookings, but I took that as like he booked facts, how he views facts. Did you not take it that way?
No, I thought he said like this is what I would give myself.
Oh, really? But I mean, why would he give himself? What do you say? That actually would make sense. He hates Mutt, so he gave himself a D+ for allowing Mutt to be on the show.
I think so.
Like Tim Ridgels, right? He booked him. He would have no reason to like. Why would he call that a C+ booking by him?
because I think Meadows is an honest guy and he's trying to hold himself accountable.
People in the chat, let me know. Like you guys, I think you have to agree with me on this one, right? He's ranking their performance, right? If you want to let me know, I'm pretty sure I can barely read that chat.
Let's go through. I'll pretend like it's, or I'll
pretend it's that, and we'll address it.
with you, and then
all right, Mutt's. I'm not even gonna. He hates Mutt, so we shouldn't even address that. I feel like those
Mutt's
are
always an A for me.
Those are tainted, so it is what it is. October 31st, Steve Robinson, A. Great. Like I thought that was great. Steve was great. I agree with him on the A on that one.
I agree with that.
Monday,
I think that was also Steve's best performance. I think he was the most playful, and he didn't try to do like the too cool for school thing that he's done a couple times.
Right. Monday the 4th, Tim Ridgels, he gave a C+.
Yeah, I'd probably say around a C.
C.
There was no like
standout
wow moments or anything like that.
Yep. Okay. On Wednesday, Montante, he gave an A. Thought Montante had a great performance. I know you won't badmouth Montante ever, so you're kind of biased. I'm not even gonna allow you to answer this question.
Talking about Montante all the time. You should have seen me in Delaware when I was, as Kirk said, I was motherfucking him left and right. When he comes up and he's like, I forget her name, the girl who worked at Subway, that he said, oh, she sounded hot on the phone.
Yes. Oh, I remember that. Yes.
And then in person, she was a bigger girl, nice girl, and he was like going around like, and I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you doing? Fucking no, I'll bad mouth Montante if
you need to.
All right, I think Montante's performance after the election was fantastic.
Spot on. Okay. Thursday, November 7th, Mama K, A-. Mama K, A-. I'm actually going to agree with Menners on that. I think if you just look at it as a standalone performance, I would probably say like B or B+.
Yep.
But the fact, like, I think she exceeded expectations. I think you raise it up a little bit. So I'm gonna agree with him on the A-.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I mean, it was like her first time in. Everyone thought she was going to absolutely stink and just do anything like that. Her game was terrible, but it was terrible in like a funny way.
All-time bad. Right. All-time bad game. All-time bad. All right, let's go to this week. We're back on. Mick got a B+. I got to think about that one. That's probably fair because the you-Mick dynamic made for a great show, and he has to get a lot of credit for that, just like you would have gotten an A if you were on this ranking. I think that's probably a fair grade. Once we moved on from it, he wasn't super chatty, I wouldn't say, on the other topics, though, of the show.
Yeah, I would say if you're ranking him on having him in, I would give it an A because having him in is good content. If obviously I'm very biased against Mick, I don't like him. If you're ranking his performance on the show, I think he came in, he didn't say anything. He texted me afterwards that he would prefer to have a big kumbaya instead of actually going at it. Meanwhile, he's like willing to say all these things on Twitter. So I'd personally give him an F for that. Okay. But if it's Manners like having him in, I would say that's an A. But also, I mean, that was a Kirk booking. If you remember, Kane was supposed to be in that day.
That's true. Okay, let's go on to the 12th. This is Mike and Mutt. They got a D+ on this day. Doesn't separate the two. I think that's again just the anger towards Mutt. Yeah, the bias toward Mutt. And then let's see. Wednesday the 13th was the last show. Tim Fax, he gave a B-, and then Ted, he gave an A.
Yeah, I think Ted's excellent. He always has funny quips and things like that, and really plays up people. I think Fax did good for like
first time in and traveled. Like, got to give him points for traveling. He went to the theater show for the Aaron Hernandez thing. He played basketball yesterday with Beanbag Ron. I know he was hanging out with Cinema. He got the entire almost KMS experience while I was here. Super nice guy, first and foremost. So for a first one out, I'd give him a little bit higher than that. I'd say a B. That's good. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so in terms of, let's go back to your way then. For Menner's booking, let's say this was him grading himself. Do you agree with his grades grading himself?
Yes.
I'd say Fax is a good booking.
Besides like the Mutt and Mike show, like I think you need to give that an A+ because whenever you get those two together, I think it is funny. Yeah, I think it's like perfect, the ideal scenario.
Yep. I mean, the big thing is Fax and Mama K, two people who have never been on the show in that role before. Those are like, if you're going to book Ted's a regular at this point, right? Yep. It's like booking Pack Ford or something like that. Like all those guys are regular. I do want to move. We'll move on for that. I do want to say I was thinking Menners just came out with an endorsement, right? Shark Minahan got his endorsement for the Be a Man guy for Minifan in the top 50. What was your take on that? I like Be a Man guy a lot, and he is, he's not like on every network show, but he tweets about the show. He goes to everything. If you like wanted him to be like almost like what Julie is to events, but like to organize these like micro KMS events, like I feel like he would do it every weekend if he could. Like,
Yes, and I love Be a Man guy. I think he's an excellent fan, but I think if you're looking at the value they bring to the actual show, I wouldn't say it's up there with like Mikey Grabbags or
Sure.
Montante or Ted or even like Mick.
Right. I don't agree with I will go back to the top 50. I don't agree because I think it was Ziggy Robinson endorsed Mick.
Yes.
I don't if Mike Montante is not on the list, then I don't think the other regulars I don't want to go into
I would agree with that too. I do think Montante should be on the list. Should be
I disagree with that.
I do think Mick should be eligible. But like I said, it's up to Kirk. So if Kirk doesn't want if the precedent is set that Montante can't win, then yeah, I think someone like Mick shouldn't win.
Right. What was your? I just want to get your take. What was your overall take of the theater show? Because it was a different vibe than normal. I'm trying to think. Most of them were all part of the competition stuff, right? It was all the dozen or surviving. So you get those moments of like the big ovations and stuff like that. It was funny to get the cheer for when like the Kirk characters appeared, but it was definitely a different vibe than like specifically watching a very crucial dozen episode or surviving episode. It was a different vibe.
I do think too that it was different because Kirk didn't know what was happening either.
Right.
Like before you like Kirk obviously knew the Frank Fleming, like there were moments in the like he knew, like I remember there's one part where like he didn't think he got it and then he stood in front and he gets it and the crowd goes wild. Like there's a different, like you can play that up. Like he really had no idea what was going on. He could be in it for 30 seconds in prison radio, or he could be on there for 15 minutes. We really had no idea what was going on. So I think it was nice that it was kind of like spaced out. How we had 3 different scenes, like starting out of him just talking about how the only reason she got a job was because she's hot, and and like and how it spaced out, and then it ended up with the exposing that he's homosexual on air, and then so I do think it was different. I loved it. I thought it was awesome to hear the cheers. Just whenever the Justin Grace showed up on the screen, it was awesome.
It was awesome. I just the idea of like doing those events is funny. I heard I think it was Big Cat today, and PFT talking about the Aaron Hernandez show, and just like Big Cat was saying how funny it is that Kirk rented out a theater to do that. It's like there's just nobody else that would. I mean, Jerry, I believe Jerry talked about it on his podcast. We'll highlight that, I'm sure, next week. But like, obviously, EEI isn't talking about the fact that EEI was mentioned on the Aaron Hernandez show. And even if they were still there, like I don't know. Who else is going to rent out a movie theater for a situation like that? I guess it's just a unique situation.
I was thinking earlier this morning too. So obviously we've seen now Justin Grace portray Kirk. Is there anything else that's gone on in Kirk's career in which he would be portrayed? And obviously the case.
I mean,
like I'm saying, like that could happen. I'm not saying that will happen.
Yeah,
I'm saying like a fictionalized version of Kirk. And then I was thinking the only other thing I could think of is possibly a movie on Dave Portnoy.
A movie on Dave Portnoy. Yeah, but has there been anything big between like Dave and Kirk, like a big moment where we would get like a scene like that? Probably not. Right?
I could see, but like I could see there being a scene or something where there is someone playing Kirk.
Yep.
Like I don't think there.
Yeah, that would be fair. That would be, but it wouldn't be a big scene like in the Aaron Hernandez documentary or something like that, or the series or whatever. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, there's absolutely a chance. I can tell you how much fucking interest there is in the case in the Sandra Birchmore story based on everything. Like, for Ryan Murphy to do, if he did it for the Menendez brothers, like that wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if something like that happened for the Sandra Birchmore story. But which is, by the way, fucking wild that like nobody would be shocked if it would be surprising in the sense of like, wow, that's crazy that that's happening, but it's not a shocker that it would happen he's got two things in his career that a television show could be made about, or he
Yes.
would be very much included in a television show about, which is
I'd like a spin-off show. I'd like a spin-off show of the Justin Grace character. American media story. Kirk Minifan.
Maybe so, Justin. I guess, yeah. Maybe that's a good spinoff. All right, let's go into the next topic here.
I'm upset. I'm upset that it's over. I look forward to it every Tuesday. It was
a good build-up. Like it was so bad it was good. They actually did have a couple good episodes where I had like no complaints, kind of. But then like to know that his appearance was literally on the last episode, it was like perfectly kind of like planned out, and it wasn't too long. Like 10 weeks isn't crazy to wait for that last episode. So yeah, I would love for something like that to happen again. That was fantastic. And you were like obsessed with the show. Like
I was very much. I'm upset that it's over. Like I've said, it's sad.
We talked about him a little bit with some other stuff. You criticizing Montante, but his tweet the other day about confusion about garages. I'm going to make sure, because I want to be fair to everybody involved. I think I should recuse myself from this conversation.
Yeah,
I'll tee it up for you, but I should recuse myself. What's your take on his confusion about garages?
I'm trying to think of if there's ever been a time I've been confused. I guess sometimes when like you have to drive in like a circle to go down, like you kind of have to like go the long way to go. I'm not exactly sure.
Confused wouldn't be, but it's not like confused about. That would be on the garage for not labeling it appropriately, I would say.
Yes.
That's not really how he worded it. He worded it like, I'm just overall confused about almost like everything parking inside a garage, to be fair.
Yes, I'd have to guess. I know Patrick Ford said it was like a double helix, which is like, there's multiple entrances and exits. Maybe that's confusing. I can see, if it's not labeled correctly, but
right.
I don't know. He gets confused by not the most difficult of things.
Yeah, I actually think I will say this: the garages that have the lights above them, garages first and foremost, the garages that you pull into that have the number of parking spaces available on each floor, that's a good start, first of all. And then second of all, the ones that have the light overhead where you know where that spot is available. I'd prefer every garage to be like that. I understand it can't be like that. And it's still really not, I don't really get his point about confusion of it. But like I said, I really shouldn't be one to talk in this situation. But mine was more like my situation could happen in a garage, could happen at the grocery store, could happen anywhere. So but whatever. I didn't really, there's nothing to be confused about with parking garages. I did see that Montante met up with McFuss last night. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see that. I like Fuss. I know he's been kind of out of the world a little bit. He's been dealing with some things, but McFuss Daddy, great Minifan. I loved it when he my first real introduction to Fuss was when he flew up for the Justin Carr challenge, and he stuck it out with Tim Richards.
Magnolia was before that, right? I played golf with him and his buddy. I forget his, like, they were super nice. I think that was my first experience with him because we were in Magnolia for. Yeah, you didn't meet him in Magnolia? You were in Magnolia.
Maybe I met him, but like my first real
like one-on-one. Oh yeah, you spent time with them and stuff like that. Okay. Any other Minifan stuff that you know of? I can get your take. Like, I'm gonna do my best to stay up for the Tyson Paul fight tonight. My gut tells me it's gonna be probably closer to like 11. Don't you think? Like it's gonna be later.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never stayed up for a fight. I remember when I was in high school, I was delivering pizzas at a place, and I left early so I could watch the what's the guy's
Pacquiao?
Pacquiao, yeah, the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. Yeah, that was just a big.
Was that the one that was on Derby Day? That fucking ruled. That day was great. There was something else going on, if anyone in the chat remembers. It was Derby Day, Pacquiao, Mayweather at night, and I think there was a playoff game of some sort. And I don't know who's in the chat. If you're local, there was some kind of local sports team that had a playoff game. I think it was like a trifecta. But I don't know.
And I was like, and ever since then, I've seen fights, and I go, this is just boring. Like I do enjoy UFC, but you don't have any money on it. It's just kind of like
it's weird. The Paul thing, which I think is good because it like brings attention to the sport and it makes it entertaining for social media and stuff like that. But like yesterday, I mean, obviously, like, Jake Paul knew that Mike Tyson was going to slap him in the face. And then all of a sudden he like cuts the promo, which is like, oh, now he made it personal about the fake slap that just, it's like, I don't know. I hope it means that like they're still like, I hope they're still contractually like they forced to like give it their all. I don't know. I kind of can't go one way or the other because I'm kind of like, if Mike Tyson just gets one of his crazy punches in, I don't care how fucking old he is. It's like the scariest punch on planet Earth. And Jake Paul, I don't even know how many like real professional fights or like real challenges has Jake Paul
See,
had in
I
boxing.
don't know because I don't
Yeah.
follow boxing. So I hear these
Yeah.
names and then I hear people say, "Oh, that's not a real boxer," or "that is a real
Right.
boxer," and he got his ass kicked. I'm like, I don't follow boxing. And also
Yeah.
know boxing is weird, but there's like 3 different leagues, so people can be like a champion of one league,
Yeah. I
and
don't
a
follow it
champion of
like
another, and then
right.
like
I
world
don't follow it
champion
to
is a
that.
different thing.
I don't follow it to that degree. I do think it's a phenomenal thing. I think I talked about this with Gus yesterday a little bit. It's a
Oh, that's a
phenomenal
little
thing.
tease. No one knows about
Yes.
that.
Yes. It's a phenomenal thing that like Netflix is doing this. I know they did some live stuff with who was the comedian that did a live thing on Netflix. I just like the streamers getting involved in like relevant television like this, like whether it be sports or boxing or whatever. And I like the idea of like Netflix gaining more and more traction doing that. They're getting like WWE next year, like all that stuff. So I think it'll be a productive thing to like grow Netflix's, let's call it like hopeful infatuation with like live and doing more
Well,
shit like
I know they're
that.
doing the NFL this year as well.
Yeah, they're doing a Christmas game, right?
Yes.
Have they announced who's on that broadcast team?
I don't think
because wasn't what's his name from Bussin' with the Boys on that or considered to be on that?
Netflix broad.
Yeah, check that out. It was Mayweather Pacquiao the same day as the Derby.
It's Iron Eagle, Noah Eagle with analysts JJ Watt, Greg Olson, and Nate Burleson.
Okay. Yeah, I don't necessarily love that that crew. I don't know. In terms of like star power, but I remember one of the Bussin' with the Boys guys must have been in the conversation for like a sideline or pre-show thing or something along those lines. Speaking of just like kind of random topics, can you put up that picture that I asked you to put up on this chat? If you were in here, Mike from Providence, this is not a shot in any way at her. This is Taylor Mathis. She was the one with the whole crypto thing. She lost her DraftKings sponsorship. She's dressed like this to go to, I'm not going to like shame anybody. Like she can dress like that if she wants, but like that's lingerie, right? Like she's out at a Sabrina Carpenter concert in lingerie. Is she not? Like I'm not, right, Justin? Like that's lingerie.
Yeah,
that's not a dress.
that's lingerie. That is.
I think her defense. I get it. I've read some of the stuff. You can take that down. She's going to the Sabrina Carpenter tour. Sabrina Carpenter, I assume, is a very sexual person on stage or whatever.
That is a Sabrina Carpenter outfit. From what I've seen,
totally fine.
Every night, you know how like Taylor Swift sings like 2 different songs at every concert.
Yes.
Sabrina Carpenter, I believe, I could be wrong on this. I believe she does a different sex position.
Totally fine. Night, so, and then like every night it gets like highlighted on social media. I think I've seen that. Yeah. Okay. But like that's part of her show. I would say if Sabrina Carpenter is wearing lingerie as part of her set at the concert, like that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like showing
I get
up
it, but people like to go to these poppy shows and like pretend they're that person.
Right, which is fair, and she's acting as if everybody was wearing that. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking shot in hell that there were more than 3 people wearing an outfit like that at the Sabrina Carpenter concert.
I bet you there was a lot of people wearing outfits like that.
Really?
I don't think everyone was, but I do think that was not like a crazy outfit to wear.
That's wild. Like more power to her for having the confidence to pull that off and like leave the house like that. I'm with her. That's just I saw that and I was like, wow. Like you're wearing lingerie out in public with, whatever, 30,000 people or whatever, or 18,000 people at an arena or something like that. Okay, what's it say? Oh, Dave, you need to get out more. That's not just wearing like a sexy dress that a woman would wear. You have to admit that's a little different.
No, I agree. It's a little different, but I think that's just the Sabrina Carpenter
is endorsing that type of. Yeah.
Yes, I once went to a concert, or we were going to go to a concert we went outside Lupo's in high school. We were going to go to a Guar concert. Are you familiar with Guar?
Lupo's, Rhode Island.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Weren't they on like? Yeah, they're the ones with the masks and shit.
Yes, they wear
Yeah.
outfits, and what they do
Do
is
they throw up? Do they throw up?
they spray blood and semen into the crowd.
Right.
So you're supposed to wear, it's like a Guar shirt. It's just a plain white t-shirt, shitty shorts, shitty everything. And me and my friends were going to go, and we went with my my dad and my friend's dad, and they showed up to my house, and my friends were wearing like nice clothes, like going out clothes. And I was like, what are you doing? We're going to a Guar show. We're going to be sprayed with blood and semen in the crowd, from Odoris Urungus, R.I.P., from his cuttlefish, which is his giant prosthetic penis.
Yep.
And they were like, yeah. So we get there, and then they were like, we can't do this. We can't do this. We're going to get our asses kicked. And so we ended up going to Dave & Buster's. So I looked like a homeless person walking around Dave & Buster's while my friends were all. It was tough. But you dress.
I understand your comparison. Not that close. Like, it's close, but it's not that close. I get it. Like, you wore the costume.
You dress for the
occasion. I get it. But let's just say part of her set. My gut tells me she wears multiple things during her concerts, right?
I would assume. You talking about Sabrina, or are you talking about
I would assume there's some set costume changes.
Yes.
Right? Let's just say for one of her songs, it's more than lingerie. It's literally just bra and panties, and she doesn't give a fuck, right? And she's just going out there because it's a performance. She doesn't give a fuck. Is Taylor Mathis going to go out in bra and panties just because she knows that Sabrina Carpenter is going to go out like that?
I think people would do that. People. Have you seen these people, how they dress at raves and stuff?
Yes, they go all out. I get it. Listen, like I said, I'm not shaming her. I was just shocked by it. That's all. I was just shocked, but more power to her. If she's comfortable doing it, that's good with me. All right. Anything else on the KMS related stuff, or any other random topics that you want to touch on?
No. No. I do want to spend the next part of the show though.
Yes.
Teaching.
By the way, Justin, I'm gonna give you credit. Maybe top 10 most thoughtful things anyone has ever done for me.
Oh, I appreciate
that's serious. No, you agree?
Let me explain my process here. I'm a blackjack guy. I like to go to the casino every now and then with Mark, and I do like to play blackjack. It's my game of choice. So when you brought up on the show Wednesday that you are going to Encore, you want to learn how to play craps. I was originally going to teach you how to play craps. We'll spoil it right now. Someone taught you how to play craps yesterday.
Yes.
You were on Puff Puff Piece with
Andrew Augustus taught me how to play craps yesterday, and I will tell you right now, it's 24 hours later. I do not know how to play craps. Did I overreact when I was being taught it and call him out? No, I did not. I think I was a gentleman. I was on his turf, but I do not know how to play craps. So, but I am. I know how to play blackjack. It's more about my confidence and second guessing and stuff. So yes, go on, keep going.
So I was thinking yesterday. I was like, God. So people were like, "Whoa, Dave brought $1,500. That's a lot of money. That'll last them all night." I know Encore is a high roller casino. Yes. Their minimums are very high. You go to Twin River, you go to some other places. I did see Encore will sometimes have $15 minimums. On Saturdays, they're not going to have $15 minimums. They're going to have a couple $25 minimums. They're going to have mostly $50 minimums. So I think that if you and your roommates find a table, it's going to be a $50 minimum, and that's quick. And I believe when you said $1,500, that's like between you and your wife, right?
Yeah, I actually haven't even talked to her about how much she's willing to spend, but yeah, sure. Let's say that.
So let's say that's $750 a person. That's 15 bullets, 15 shots. That can go very quick if you're playing 15. And I was like, I'm worried about my friend Dave.
You think it's gonna be $50 minimum there?
I think so.
Shit. Okay, keep going.
And I was like, I'm worried that it will just fly by. You're gonna have a terrible night. You're gonna be tossing and turning. Your roommates are gonna come in. They're gonna have no clue what's happening. So I looked up some things about the Encore Casino, and I printed out a bunch of these cheat sheet cards, which I asked for 5 to give 4 to you, 1 for you, 1 for your wife, and then
thank you,
a couple for the roommates, and ended up giving me 6. So I printed these out, and it's just going to tell you exactly what you need to do. You don't need to think. People think blackjack is a game of thinking. It's absolutely not. The choice has already been made for you. Even if it seems like in your gut, you're like, I don't think it should happen. If it says so on this, you're going to do it. So a couple rules to start off. So you're going to see a table. Okay. All the tables on Saturday are going to be hit on soft 17. You don't know what that means. It doesn't pertain to you. But there's going to be two different kinds of tables in Encore. It's going to say Blackjack pays 6 to 5 and Blackjack pays 3 to 2. Okay, so there's going to be two different kinds of tables there.
Got to do 3 to 2.
You want to stay away from 6 to 5.
Right.
You just want to stay away. You don't want to play it. Those are worse odds. There's no reason why at Encore, why certain tables. It's just a sucker thing. You're going to look for a 3 to 2. In the long run.
Quickly, before you go on,
Yep.
The Patriots Stink Again in the chat says, if you would like to put it up, says that just put all your money on black and red on roulette. Basically, it's the best odds in the casino. Do you disagree with that?
Well, that's not the best odds in the casino are actually on the craps table on the pass line with fully backed odds. But
okay, yep, okay.
But, if played correctly, Blackjack also has very good odds. Actually, roulette is actually some of the worst odds. That's beside the point. So you're going to sit at 3 to 2. What that means, if you place a $50 bet and you get Blackjack, normally out of 3 to 2 table, you win.
They pay you 150% of your bet.
Yes.
Yep.
On a 6 to 5, they would pay you 120%. So you would only get a $60 win. So you want to stay away from that. The other thing, you just sit down at the table, put the money on.
Don't you think that's impressive by the dealers to be able to figure out that math so quickly? 3 to 2 is easier to figure out very quickly, but the 6 to 5 is kind of impressive. Yeah.
6 to 5 sucks. You're going to sit down, just put the money out. Dealer will give you your chips. When you're playing, you put the chips in, just make the minimum bet. Don't have to go. Go crazy if you want. Don't touch the cards, and don't touch your bet until the dealer either takes it or pays you out.
Okay.
So I was thinking, like, you don't exactly know what to do. So I printed this out, and it will tell you exactly what to do. And let me just I'm going to, where is it? I figured we could do a little bit of this. Here's a little Washington Post.
Okay.
And we could go through it, and we could see if you know what to do.
Okay.
So.
And you're telling me I can use this as a cheat sheet?
How do I turn this volume down?
I can't hear it.
Well, I don't want to hear it. Here we go. So you're going to put out $50.
Okay.
Oh, maybe. Okay, $125 because I don't know why I did that.
Yep.
So you have a 16 against a 4. So now what you can either do for every hand, you can either stand, hit, double.
I'm standing.
Yep, you can either stand, hit, double. Sometimes you can split, and then you can also surrender. Which, do you know what surrendering means?
Nope.
Surrendering means you're giving up half your bet and saying this hand's over. Whether or not I win or lose, I get half my money back. So you would get half of 125 back.
I've never seen that in action. How often have you done that?
Very rare. I almost never do it, but according to this, you're supposed to do it a couple times.
Oh,
so 16 against a 4. What are you doing?
Standing.
Now, this doesn't mean you'll win. This just gives you the best odds.
Yep.
Stand 8, 13, 18, you lose.
Fuck. Okay.
So that stinks, but
yep, it's all right.
We're gonna try again.
One. Yep.
A 12 against a 10.
12 against a 10. Hit me.
Yep. So you're gonna hit. Oh, you bust. But dealer had a 20 anyway, so even if you stand, you lose.
Okay, you're right.
Eventually, we'll 17 against a 3.
Stand.
5, 16, 10. There you go.
There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. So you're telling me that I can literally go to the blackjack table. I want people in the chat to agree or disagree. You said I can bring this.
You can
literally hold this.
The other thing at a table is you will not be allowed to use your phone at all. If you have your phone out, even if you're just texting someone, they're literally going to stop the game and be like, "Put your phone away."
Right.
Put your phone away. You can't smoke at the table, and you can't do that.
Realistically, it'll be. I mean, there's like a ton. There's a bunch of people, but like the crew that I will be with, we could take up the entire table. So it will make me feel comfortable if we all have this. Right?
Yes, and I gave you how many? 5.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, also you could just share it, but like, and don't think you look dumb looking at this. This is going to help you. Right. So you can also double. So sometimes I don't know if we'll get one, but here's a good one. You have a 4 against a 5.
I have a 4 against a 5.
But you're allowed to split when you're dealt 2 of the same card.
I'm splitting.
So you would see So you would go to see down here. It says 2-2.
Yep.
It's the blue section, 2-2 against a 5, and it says P, which means split. So you're going to want to split that. So split it.
Why is oh, because stand is S. Theoretically, it would have been S. Okay.
So
gotcha. P.
So when you split, you put out the same amount. So right now you're not $125 in, you're actually $250 in.
Because I have to put
double your bet.
Yep. Yes. Right.
So now you have a 12 against a 5. What do you do?
12 against a 5. I am standing.
Yep. Oh, you got another 2. What are you going to do?
Split that shit again.
You're going to split it as many times as they allow you to.
Yeah.
So now you have a 6 against a 5. What do you do?
I have a 6 against a 5. Where's the 6 on this?
6 right up here.
Oh, 5 through 8. I'm sorry. 8. I'm hit. Hit me.
5 through 8. So there, bam, hit. 16 against a 5.
I am probably standing. Yeah.
You're definitely going to stand.
Yep.
Stand. 12
I didn't
against
even
a
see 5. It on the sheet. I made that call myself, just for the record. 12. I'm thinking of hitting. Oh, fuck. No, stand.
You're going to look at it. You're going to look 12
after.
Against a 5 is a stand right there. So now you just got to hope for the dealer to bust.
Okay.
16, bam, dealer bust. You win all 3.
Huge. Oh, wow. Holy fuck.
So you won $375.
Hold on. Ted Sauer says, it's been eating my brain since he said it. If money is tight, I'd see the point. But for a guy willing to lose, yeah, Ted, I've reconsidered this a little bit. I forget my rationale yesterday on it. I felt like I made a decent point. Oh, it was the fact that the plan was already made before I knew about it. Now, should I have argued against the plan? I think that's safe, but I'm also like, I'm not really that guy, to be honest with you. And if I'm a betting man, my gut tells me that because I don't go out often and because I'm in a casino, I'm just going to stay out literally until my eyes are shutting, right? Like a la Portland at that hotel bar or whatever the hell we were at. Until my eyes are literally shutting, I will be on the floor. And then I'm just going to end up like falling onto the bed. Is probably, I guarantee you that will happen. So I think in the end, it works out in my favor, personally. Okay. So, any other wild situations that I know we might not even be able to, like, we might not be able to get it here, but is there anything I should be mindful of?
Never split 20s.
Never split
20s. You're always going, if you ever get dealt 2 aces or 2 8s, you're going to split.
Okay.
Always. So do you know how to split?
Do I know how to split? We just did it, didn't we?
Yes, you're going to put out the same amount you already bet, so you're putting out more money.
Yes, you're doubling. You have to double your money.
A peace sign on the table.
Split. Oh, how? Yeah, I don't know that, but I feel like they'll help me through that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And so you're gonna stand on a 20 against a 7. I'd like to get a double because a double is, it's similar. It's kind of, you put more money on the table.
He'll go to bed at 9:30 now that he said all that. Probably, Todd. I wouldn't be shocked.
16 against a 9. What are you doing?
16 against a 9. I am hitting.
Yes. And this 8. Now you have 18 against a 9.
Wait. No, the board. No, I am surrendering.
Nope.
I have a 16 and the dealer has a 9. Wait.
Oh yes.
I'm surrendering.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would have. So you can't do that on here. Yes, you would have surrendered. Which when you surrender, you go like this. Yeah. And they would give you half your money back.
Okay. I wish you put. I mean, I'm very thankful for these, but I wish you put the signals on them. I really do.
The what?
The signals. You know?
If you just say it, they'll explain it.
They'll help me out. Okay.
And then so when you double, so now you have an 18 against a 9. What do you do?
I'm gonna probably stand.
You always stand on hard 18. If you have 18.
Why isn't 18 on this?
Because you're always standing.
Okay.
If you have unless you have a soft 18, which is, see where it says A2.
I like that I'm relying on this, but I feel like it's I'm not saying cheating, but it's like I don't know. Like I would stand on 18, but I would know to stand on 18, but I feel like I had to like look at this now. You know what I mean?
It's just going to help you. And then when you see the section where it says A2 on the side.
Yep.
That's if you have an ace in another card.
Okay. Yep.
So we're going to stand on that. 14, bam, 22, you win. Okay. Let me just try to see if I can get a. So an ace means that it counts as a. So 14 against a queen.
You got a 14 against a queen. Got a hit.
Yep. Lose.
Fucker.
So
Okay.
when you double is when you take the amount of money you bet and you put it up there and you only get one card. So you want to like double 11s against everything. You double a 10. See, when it says 10 right there,
Yep.
on your side, a 10 DDD, like those are all the cards you double against. So you double your bet.
Okay. All right.
And then when you have like an ace 7 against a dealer like 10, you would go to ace 7 against a 10. What's an ace 7 against a 10?
Hit.
It's a hit. That's
Yep.
right. And this doesn't matter how many cards if you have 4 cards and you have a 14 against a dealer 9, it's the same as if you have 2 cards.
Okay. This is just like fundamentally everything I'm looking at right now is just your best odds to beat the casino. Doesn't mean you'll do it. Doesn't mean you'll do it.
No, it doesn't mean you'll do it. But if you play with perfect basic strategy, well, it's different against standing on soft 17 versus hitting on soft 17.
Okay. Did you already go? I just haven't read this yet. Did you run down this? Oh, never take insurance. You said always stand. You said
never take. So if the dealer is showing an ace, they'll offer you insurance, which means you can put more money on whether or not they have it. Never take it. Never take even money if you have a blackjack and dealer is showing an ace. Always stand hard 18 or higher. Always stand ace 9, ace 10. Well, ace 10 is blackjack, and 10-10. Always play if you get dealt 5-5 as a 10, and always split aces.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, first of all, thank you again for making these, because these are going to make my life a hell of a lot easier. And we'll see how we come out of this. That's all we can do. Anything else that we missed on this program? I don't believe so.
Not really. I am looking forward to the BO Boys tomorrow.
Yep.
Kirk's doing that. Tickets are still available. It's in Cambridge. It should be fun. I mean, whenever he goes on with the BO Boys, they have a good time.
Right. And so, BO Boys, what is it, 3 p.m. tomorrow?
Yep.
If anybody's considering at 3 p.m., that's a great time. Either way, you go. I know people were like, "Oh, that's weird." I love that shit. I'd rather go to like a 3 p.m. show. Then you go to dinner after, and you're already in the kind of city area. So think about that if you got nothing to do. Besides that, back on Monday, Kane and Michael Geary, I believe, are on the program. And I think that's it, right?
Perfect.
All right. Thank you, Justin, again. And we'll talk to you guys on Monday.
See you.